When you are reading balance sheets, please remember, don't go into too many details. You will get lost. Somebody has said God is in details, not while reading balance sheets. If you have too many details, you will get lost. Today they've got cash, then they spend the cash and acquire raw materials. So it gets converted into raw materials inventory. When the raw materials go into production process, it gets converted into finished product. Then they find customers for the finished product. It gets converted into debtors or receivables. And when they collect money from the customers, it becomes cash again. This cycle of cash to cash is called the working capital cycle. B says, of course we need raw material inventory, but why 3 months? The amount of inventory that we need to maintain should not be a figure that comes out of our hat. To understand the requirement of inventory, B says we will first do a sales forecast. Based on that, we will do a production forecast. Based on that, we will do an inventory need analysis. We will also have meetings with our suppliers in an attempt to reduce the lead time between placement of order and receipt of material. And B says, yes, we need inventory, but not 3 months. We can manage with 1 month inventory. Ultimate intention is actually to head towards just-in-time inventory. I want you to examine these 3 balance sheets closely and tell me, in your opinion, which is the healthiest of the 3? Don't forget, we are still discussing rule number 2. This is part of the explanation of rule number 2. And what did the rule say? The rule said, remember, sources are liabilities. Those who have given you money today are going to expect it back sooner or later. And therefore, when you invest your money, invest it in such a way that the assets will bring the money back before the liabilities demand it back. But you do understand, if liabilities have to be paid back, some liabilities will have to be paid back sooner than others. And which liabilities will have to be paid back soonest? When the short-term assets are insufficient to meet short-term liabilities, it is then that organizations are forced to sell the long-term assets in order to pay short-term liabilities. And when the day dawns that an organization has to sell its buildings, its equipment, its machinery to pay who? A raw material supplier? To me, it looks like the beginning of the end of that organization. And this brings me to a key accounting ratio. Folks, the short-term uses on the right-hand side are called current assets, and the short-term sources on the left-hand side are called current liabilities, and the ratio between current assets and current liabilities is called the current ratio. And the norm is healthy organizations will try and maintain a current ratio of about 2:1. Current liabilities indicate to what extent this organization was able to procure the requirement of working capital without having to pay. Folks, I am trying to point out a trap. I am trying to tell you an organization with a bad current ratio is not necessarily a bad organization. It is an entrapped organization where people taking the decisions didn't understand the principles of good finance management. I now ask you, who will you support? Who will you back? Where will you invest your money? Will you invest your money with a third-grade organization having a top-grade ratio, or will you invest with a top-grade organization with a third-grade ratio? Whenever an organization has more short-term resources than can be absorbed in short-term avenues, it is natural they will trickle towards long-term uses. And then this organization will become guilty of one of the biggest crimes of bad finance management, and that is to have used short-term funds for long-term purposes.